Time to make this award-winning viral video. And as Deadpool would say, maximum effort. Yo, what's up everybody? How you doing? This is your Coach Renz. Sometimes you gotta laugh at yourself, right? Yes, you do. So, first I want to thank all my subscribers. We went over 3,000 subscribers the other day. I'm very excited about that. Very excited about that. This video, I might lose some subscribers though, but it's okay. It's all right. I'll be okay, and so will you. And I also want to thank everybody on my Patreon. If you haven't been on my Patreon, there are some videos there that are not on Facebook. I mean, YouTube or Facebook. And actually, I've been lax in the last month or so adding videos to Patreon. So to all my patrons, I apologize, but guess what? Maximum effort is returned. So you will start getting videos that are only on Patreon coming up very soon. So maximum effort. I was recently going over some of my other videos, and one of those videos where I was talking about why I'm not as successful as I am today, I focused in on one aspect of it, and that's distractions. I focused in on distractions because when I look at everything that's going on in my life, everything that's been going on, everything that's moving in the future, I realize how distractions have played a key role in that. And when I look at the world today, I see a lot of distractions. There's a video that I watched yesterday that talked about how people have become enslaved by social media, by checking their phone, by doing all these things. Now I look at it from two different departments. True, many people have become enslaved by their phones, but their phones have also allowed people to be able to build a life that they otherwise wouldn't have. There's a yin and a yang to it. There's an up and down. There's a positive and a negative. We're going to discuss some of those things. So I hope you stay with me through the end. But here's the thing, people. When I look at maximum effort, I first want to start out with something that I learned from listening to Jim Rohn for years and years. CDs in the car, the whole deal. And one of the things that Jim Rohn has always talked about is that everything in nature, everything in the universe gives 100% max effort in order to be exactly what it is, to do exactly what it's supposed to do. But the only creature in the universe that we know of that does not give maximum effort to become the greatest versions of itself is us. It's humans. Us so-called the most intelligent beings on the planet. When the cheetah goes out into the Serengeti, does the cheetah say to himself, today I'm hunting, but I think I'm only going to give about 50% or 30%? Or does the cheetah run all out? Does it run as fast as it can run? Does it go and chase down the gazelle as fast as it can do it, as strategic as it can? Does it follow its basic instinct to give 100% of what it has in order to hunt? Or does it run around saying that, well, if I tried it at 70%, didn't catch anything, oh well. No, it doesn't. It gives 100%. And when you look at the gazelle, are the gazelle trotting? Are they saying that, well, based on the distance and the measure of the cheetah, I only need to run at about 80% and I'm good? Or do they go all out? Or are they running as if they're running for their life? Because guess what? They are running for their life. And here's the thing about it. If you were a gazelle, do you have to run as fast as cheetah? Do you have to outrun the cheetah? We know it's impossible. You can't outrun the cheetah. No, you don't. But what do you have to do? You have to give your maximum effort, because every other gazelle is giving its maximum effort. And all you have to do to survive is be faster than the slowest gazelle. You don't have to outrun the cheetah. You don't have to outrun the lion. Just be faster than the slowest gazelle. And in order to do that, you got to give maximum effort, because even the slowest gazelle is giving maximum effort. So the cheetah, the lion, they give maximum effort. A tree doesn't say to itself, I'm only going to grow half as tall. How tall does a tree grow? As tall as it can. How much fruit does a tree produce? As much as it can. How much shade does a tree give? as much as it possibly can. The sun burns as bright as it possibly can. The moon reflects as much light as it possibly can. Everything in the universe moves as great as it possibly can. When the avalanche happens, the avalanche moves down the mountain as strong and as forceful as it possibly can. But humans, we negotiate, we deliberate, we emotionalize whether or not we're going to give max effort, as if whether or not we're going to give 100%. And one of the things that keeps us from giving our all in everything we do is distractions. You go to work every day. Are you at work playing? Are you horse playing? Are you playing tricks on people? Are you spending too much time around the water cooler? How much time are you spending on social media while at work? Now, I understand that there are certain things, like for me, when I'm doing the mindless task of popping corn, sure, I have YouTube in my ear, but am I listening to sports trivia? Am I listening to the gossip of entertainers? Or am I listening to things that's making me better? You see, even in that moment, I'm giving maximum effort because I'm either listening to something that's uplifting my mind, uplifting my spirit, uplifting my energy. Sometimes I'm listening to just tones, but I'm listening to something that's moving me forward, that's giving me the ability to have maximum effort in my life. Because it's something that was missing. It's something that has been missing for a very long time. And yes, I'm only human. Sometimes we waver. Sometimes we fall back. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes we get caught up into a rhythm that doesn't allow for you to give maximum effort. A day goes by, you didn't accomplish that task. Another day goes by, you still didn't accomplish that task. The telephone rings, you don't want to answer it. The phone rings again, you're trying to avoid it. Bill collectors is one of those things that people avoid. But I want you to think about this. Just handle it. Just handle it. Figure out your pathway. Figure out your process and handle it. Like for those who are participating in our in financial alchemy, certain bill collectors call, we don't answer the phone. There's a reason why. Because there's a plan as to why. But even in not answering, we're giving maximum effort, because in not answering, I'm going to give you the reason why. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. If it's a collection agency, and if you never confirm to that collection agency that you owe that collection agency any money through any written document or verbal on the phone, then you don't owe them that money. You do not have a contract with the collection agency. You have a contract with, let's say, Sprint or AT&T. And if AT&T or Sprint sells that collection to a collection company, the only way they can actually legally collect from you is if you volunteer to say that you owe that collection to them. You owe that collection to AT&T or Sprint. If they wrote it off, then that collection agency can only own it and only own you by it if you acknowledge it. So yes, for them, we ignore the phone calls. We don't speak to them. We never acknowledge the debt, because if we don't acknowledge the debt, we send in the right letter, and that letter has the right statement on it, and it gets removed from our credit. That's only if you're participating with my financial alchemy program. So if you're not, you need to go on over to Coach Renz /the-store and sign up. It's the only way you're going to do it. All right. But even in that, we must give maximum effort. You see, that's the thing. We have to understand that there's a big game being played. There's a big game being played, whether you look at it from the correspondence of as above, so below. There's a big game that's always being played. There's a game that's always being played above you. And the game that's being played above you is keeping you distracted. Some of the distractions are here, and my conspiracy people are going to love this one. Some of the distractions are presented in front of you in order to keep you dumbed down, in order to keep you subservient, keep you a slave to the system. Some of these distractions are purposely put into your life to keep a group from being able to advance. And as true as that may be, it only works if you're accepting of it. Just like the collection agency only works if you accept the collection. The bigger game that's being played, the distractions of entertainment, the distraction of sports, the distraction of news and media, those things they only work when you allow it. How is it that there are people out there like Gary Vaynerchuk? He has social media, but yet he utilizes that social media to increase his influence and increase his financial standings in the world. Whereas other people use the exact same social media and they lessen their influence and lessen their financial standing in the world. So the question is, what are you going to do? How are you going to handle it? Are you going to max effort by ensuring that your time is managed in such a way that when you're at work, you're at work? When you leave the day at work, you should not have to take work home. I am moving into a state. Scratch that, turn it back. I am in a state where I will no longer take work home. That I will maximize my time at work, get it all done. And if that means staying later, it means staying later, but it all must be completed. The day must be completed before I move into the next day. Because there is no point of me moving into the next day if the previous day has not been completed. Because max effort must not have been given. And of course, there are things that can't be completed in a day. And if that's a project, then of course. But whatever is needed to be done on that day for the project, it must be done. There are outside forces sometimes involved. If those outside forces are not completed or can't be completed in a day, of course, that's something that happens. And like I said in the video yesterday, there's always the uncertainty of things happening outside of your plan. And I do allow for that. But 99% of the time, it is merely a person not being focused on their work, not being focused on their task, not getting things done as they should, and they're being distracted by every other little detail. The person who walks into your office, they want to talk to you. You know, when I was in the Marine Corps and I was stationed in Germany, headquarters Marine Forces Europe, my office became the water cooler. People would come into my office. This is a 2-person office, me and my gunnery sergeant. And they would always come in and they would want to conversate. They would take their 5-minute breaks, 15-minute breaks and come into my office and conversate. And I would engage them. What I was never noticing at the time, this is when I first got there, Gunnery Sergeant James Allen Payne would sit there and he would keep his head down, keep working. Yes, sure. If it was a direct question about work, he would look up and express whatever he had to say. But most of the time, yes, doing whatever he's doing. But me, I would engage. I would stop what I'm doing. I would conversate. I would have a conversation with him, talk to him. That person would take 15 minutes of my time. The next person would come in and take 15 minutes of my time. This person comes in and take 15 minutes of my time. All these people would come in and take 15 minutes of my time. And by the day's end, when everyone else was going home, I was spending an additional 3 hours at work because I didn't get my task done. And since I had to spend that 3 more hours at work, I got home 3 hours later. I was 3 hours taken away from my family life. 3 hours taken away from my entertainment life. 3 hours taken away from my relaxation life. Because I gave it away. I allowed the distraction of other people coming in the door, having conversation. And one night, when I was working a weekend, and Gunny came in, he asked me, why are you working this weekend? And I expressed, well, you know, I just got way more on my plate than I should. We need to get a new billet to get another person in here because I'm doing way too much work and this is a 2-person billet job. And he was like, nope, it's not the problem. The problem is your time management. The problem is the fact that you allow other people to come in here and distract you and steal your time. If you look at how much time you spend talking to people when they come in this office, you are now having to compensate for it after hours. You're compensating for it on the weekend. I had my little baby. She was on like 6 months old, sitting in her carrier while I'm at work on the weekend at night. You're doing this work. I'm doing this work because of that reason. So after that night, because the last thing he said to me, you have a 6-month-old. It's unfair to her. After that night, people come into my office. Yeah. Sure. That's amazing. Yeah. Sure. That's amazing. People stopped coming to my office. And guess what amazing thing happened? I started leaving work early. My daily tasks were completed early. I never worked another weekend. Every time somebody came in, all of a sudden, they would realize that this was not the water cooler. I had to change my culture, my mind, my state, my status, my state of my mental state that in order to do that. But once I did it, it changed the environment of my office. It changed the environment of my unit, because people started to recognize that this guy, Sergeant Reed, gets it done. That whatever task is handed to him, he get it done. Whatever requirement is there, he gets it done. And that led to more promotions. That led to awards that at my rank I should have never received, but I received them. Because it led to greater things. It led to greater accomplishments. And that's what getting rid of distractions will do for you. It will lead you to greater accomplishments. For everybody out there who's saying that they want to buy a house and your credit is not right, your budgeting is not right, your debt to income ratio is not right, you're being distracted. And you need to get rid of those distractions and focus in on your plan and accomplish your plan on a day-to-day basis. For everybody out there who wants to build a business and add residual income or increase their ability to earn, then you need to get rid of the distractions, because those distractions are keeping you from being able to earn. If you're in a relationship and you want your relationship to become greater, you want your relationship to become more intense, to become more divine, more sweet, then there are distractions that are keeping you away from focusing in on doing what's necessary in order to make your relationship great, to make it better, to make it so that you live in the lap of happiness and exhilaration and elation constantly. It's there for you. You just have to remove the distractions and focus in on what it is that you desire. Choose the results that you want. Choose the result that you desire to have in your life. And then focus on it. When you're getting ready to do something, ask the question, does this move me closer to my goal or does it move me further away? If it is a moment where you just want to relax and play a game and do something, that's fine. But if playing that game causes you to be distracted from your loved one at a time frame when you need to give them attention, if playing that game keeps you from doing your work, then you need to stop playing the game and give your attention. If you need to remove it from your phone, remove it from your household, if it's a PlayStation thing, then remove it. Which is more important? Which is more important? The grass grows at maximum effort. The tree grows at maximum effort. The cheetah runs at maximum effort. The buffalo runs at maximum effort. The crocodile swims at maximum effort. You never seen a crocodile kind of slightly come out the water and slowly bite? It will never eat, but it launches itself out of the water and snaps its jaws. And that's how it eats. When it does its death roll, it doesn't slowly twist. No, it rolls with force and ferocity. Live your life like that. Live your life at 100%. Live your life at maximum effort. This has been your Coach Renz. I know this message will move you. And if you're an alpha and you haven't been going at max effort, then you might start looking like a beta. So if all my alphas, get back to your alpha. Get back to the alpha. No point in being a beta or a Charlie or a Delta. It's an impossibility. It's worthless to you. It's holding you back. It's stunning your growth. It's time to move forward. So again, maximum effort. You got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable.